U.S. Department of Transportation logo, Federal Highway Administration.
A state DOT first expresses interest in NEPA assignment either for the program under 23 U.S. Code 327 or just for categorical exclusions under 23 U.S. Code 326. This typically occurs as a letter from the state DOT to the division office. If the state has already taken steps to waive their sovereign immunity under the 11th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, that fact should be mentioned in this intent letter. The pre-application phase starts with a coordination meeting or a series of meetings between the state DOT and FHWA. A gap analysis might be needed to analyze the state's readiness to enter into either categorical exclusion assignment or the program NEPA assignment, based on FHWA's review of state staff experience and qualifications, existing procedures and manuals, and the state's project development process. Additional pre-application requirements include waiving sovereign immunity, soliciting public comment on the intent to assume responsibilities only for the 327 assignment, and verifying the state has comparable state laws to carry out assumption responsibilities. As part of the public comment process, the state must publish the complete application in accordance with the appropriate state public notice laws. FHWA will likely be informally reviewing the application at this time. Waiving sovereign immunity as part of NEPA assignment means the state consents to and accepts exclusive federal court jurisdiction and will be held legally liable for compliance, discharge, and enforcement of any of the responsibilities covered under NEPA assignment. This means if the state gets sued on a project covered under NEPA assignment, the state defends that lawsuit in federal court without FHWA or U.S. Department of Justice participation. The state must ensure it has existing laws that allow the state to assume NEPA responsibilities. This includes a state equivalent to the Freedom of Information Act. The state must solicit public comment by publishing, in accordance with the state's public notice laws, the complete application not later than 30 days prior to submitting its application. It must include the views of other state, tribal, and federal agencies that may have consultation or approval responsibilities associated with the projects within state boundaries. After public comment has been solicited, finalization of the application must include summarizing and submitting all comments, responding to substantive comments, and identifying any revisions or actions taken in response to the comments. The application must address these topics. During the pre-application stage, a draft application is typically sent to the FHWA Division Office for review and comment. FHWA then starts the formal application review process. FHWA must solicit public comment and consider comments received before deciding whether to approve the application. As part of the solicitation, FHWA must make available the application, a draft of the Memorandum of Understanding, and a list of responsibilities sought by the state that FHWA proposes to retain. If FHWA approves the application, the MOU is then executed, and NEPA assignment takes effect. If FHWA does not approve the application, FHWA will work with the state to try to resolve FHWA concerns. This concludes the video. Hopefully you have a slightly better understanding of the NEPA assignment application process.
Learn more at www.fhwa.dot.gov. Follow the Federal Highway Administration on Facebook, Instagram, Flickr, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. The U.S. government does not endorse products or manufacturers. Trademarks or manufacturers' names appear in this video because they are considered essential to the objective of the video. They are included for informational purposes only and are not intended to reflect a preference, approval, or endorsement of any one product or entity. Except for any statutes and regulations cited, the contents of this video do not have the force and effect of law and are not meant to bind the public in any way. This video is intended only to provide information to the public regarding existing requirements under the law or agency's policies.